Alrighty guys, it's good to be back behind the camera making a full episode of Technoid. I know I say that a lot, but I really do miss it from time to time. I know my upload schedule has been a little inconsistent, but I promise it will be ironed out hopefully soon. But anyway guys, we're going to talk a lot of details in today's episode. We're going to talk about the iPhone SE 4, we're going to talk about RCS, a little bit of iOS 18, and of course, the Apple Vision Pro. All that and more coming up on today's episode, so cue the intro. First story, the main story of the day, the iPhone SE 4. Now, technically speaking, today's episode could have had either one be the main story, but for the purposes of really talking about this one in particular, because I really do want to spend a couple of minutes on it, the iPhone SE 4 is looking to be that filler void that a lot of people were looking for. Now, obviously, if you guys don't know the iPhone SE's track record, it is essentially the standard edition iPhone. The bare minimum, bare basic iPhone for any entry-level user that wants to get an iPhone, but without breaking the bank. Well, the iPhone SE has been a very, very good phone up these last few years and has done pretty decently in sales. And with the iPhone SE 4 on the horizon, it looks like Apple wants to step the game up even more because according to several reports and to our first renders that we have, we can see that the iPhone SE 4 is in fact going to be a redesign, but not a full redesign like everybody thinks. It is a redesign nonetheless. It is borrowing components of the older iPhones to make them more cheaper, but there is a lot of details here that we have to talk about because this could possibly be the best iPhone you could buy if you're not a pro user and if you like small phones. First and foremost, the display. According to several reports, it is going to be an OLED display. Now, we have been hearing reports that Apple was going to make all of their iPhones OLED, and if this is going to be the case, then this would be a very, very good deal right off the bat for an iPhone SE. An OLED display with the notch, Face ID, I think that's to be expected, but OLED technology is very nice. We have heard rumbles that they were going to use the iPhone XR display, they were going to use the iPhone XR's build, but then of course they backed out of that and have simplified it and gone more in direction of a smaller basic phone. Where this now picks up is the size. There are some reports suggesting that it is going to be the mini iPhone that everybody has wanted. It is reportedly going to be the size of 5.4 or 5.5 inch iPhone or 5.8. We don't know the exact measurements, but some reports are saying that it could be the same measurements as the mini or the standard iPhone, the 6-inch display. Again, we don't have a lot of information. We don't have a lot to go off of that. But based on the renders, based on the camera details, we could see that this phone is definitely going to be on the smaller side. So for those of you that wanted a smaller iPhone that missed that small mini phone, well, there is some good news because it might be coming back. On top of that, there are reports saying that it will get the action button, but I am very hesitant to believe that. I think it's going to get the mute switch. I don't think they're going to give the action button to a standard edition iPhone. I think that makes no sense. I think it's better to leave that for the Pro models and give it a gimmick feature. On top of that, there are some reports suggesting that it is going to get USB-C. Now, this would make a lot of sense because we do know that Apple is transitioning their iPhones out of Lightning. We know that the phase has begun. We've seen the adoption of USB-C everywhere, so it's only a matter of time. So it makes total sense if the iPhone SE 4 is going to get USB-C. Now, in regards to the hardware, there isn't much information to talk about with the hardware, but several reports have suggested that it is going to be using a regular 5G modem. It is not going to be using an in-house modem like there were reports saying. They are still working on their in-house modem. So again, Qualcomm is still going to be providing the 5G cellular activity for your iPhone SE. And then on top of that, in regards to the chip itself, there are some reports saying that it is going to be using, in some reports, some suggestions, they are saying that it is going to have either the A14 or A15 Bionic chip. Now, either one of those chips is going to be fine because Apple's going to optimize the software and hardware experience. And then the last thing to talk about is the camera technology. Now, in regards to the camera technology, there isn't really much to say. It's going to be a single lens. It's going to be pretty simple if you aren't really, I would say, a photogenic kind of person. But it is going to be a single rear camera, and it will be able to do everything that the iPhone can do, but without the telephoto and other, So, putting all the tech aspects aside of it and taking a look at everything with the iPhone SE4, I can confidently say that this is going to be a great phone. This is going to be a very, very good phone from the get-go, mostly for the value. I think that Apple is definitely going to cater to a niche market, but the niche market is big enough where there is a demand, and especially for senior citizens. Because the iPhone SE has been very popular with older generation of users. It is simple and easy to use, and it's so basic, and it doesn't cost anywhere near the prices of the iPhone 15, 15 Pro, Pro Max, and anything like that. So I think that this phone does serve a very good need, and I'm liking all of the details that I'm hearing. OLED display, USB-C, a nice camera array, a mini size phone that's good for people that want the mini size. The only compromise you're really going to miss out on is the camera technology. But if you're willing to live without that, if you really want a small phone, the iPhone SE4 is going to get you right there, and you get an OLED display. So I think that the Apple's making the case for some very good value here, because if they do that and they keep the price within the $599 or $499 price range, look out, Android mid-ranges. The iPhone SE4 is coming in, and it's going to be coming in hot. Alrighty, the next story, RCS. Now, I've already made a short talking about Apple adopting RCS for iMessage in iOS 18, but I want to talk about it a little bit real quickly in some more detail. If you haven't seen this short, I encourage you to check it out, because I'm not going to really go into details here. I'm going to go into details with the stuff that I didn't talk about. But essentially, long story short, the iPhone is going to get RCS. RCS is literally going to be a game changer for Android to iPhone messaging, and while it's not going to get a lot of those features that you'll see on the iPhone, if you have an Android, you are going to get those features, and it's a very, very good feature to have if you are an Android user, because now you don't have to worry about SMS or MMS, because you can send high quality photos, you can send high quality messages, you can use it over Wi-Fi, things like that. But the one thing I wanted to talk about real quickly is that this is not going to be a full RCS expansion like Apple was hoping. According to the reports, while they are going to continue their works with RCS, it is not going to be the full RCS experience. It is just essentially going to swap and just be the profile. So it will still be green bubbles. So, yeah. But the good news is, if you're in a group chat, and if you're in iMessage and RCS, it will no longer have to worry about the whole coincide, the green button this, the green button that. Because now you can send high quality images, and you can still be a part of that. So RCS on iMessage is a big win for everyone, especially if you have Android. And the last story, the final story, Apple Vision Pro. Now, Apple Vision Pro is slowly creeping up on us. We are almost into the new year, and Apple has yet to announce the launch date for the Apple Vision Pro. We haven't heard any reports, we haven't heard any news of anything yet, but from what reports are suggesting, we are hearing that the Apple Vision Pro is going to come out around March, according to Mark Gurman, and it also reports suggest that the Apple Vision Pro software is also going to be laying the foundation for what iOS 18 is going to be, because we have been hearing a lot of reports about iOS 18 that it is going to be a major game changer. It's going to fix a lot of bugs. It's going to be focused on performance, that there is going to be a slight redesign, it's going to be a significant update, but that it's also going to tie all the software in together. My suggestion to Apple with the Apple Vision Pro and iOS 18 going hand in hand, you have to make the experience seamless. And I really think fixing bugs is really a big priority. I'm not against I would say I'm not against a full redesign, but if there was one thing that I think they could tweak, I would be happy if they just tweak the UI or even the icons to match the Vision Pro, or even just to match macOS, because it has a little bit of a 3D skeuomorphism design. It has that dimension depth to it, and iOS just feels so flat, at least for me. So I would like to see Apple add that depth of field into the icons to give it some life, but also to tie it in with the Vision Pro. So it seems that the Vision Pro is gonna have a big factor in iOS and also the softwares going forward. So I will keep you up to date on what we hear more about iOS 18 and the Vision Pro and in all the stories you heard today. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button. If you disliked the video, you can hit the dislike button. That helps circulate my videos as well. As always, everyone, thank you so much for watching. I will see you all on the next episode. Have a great rest of your day, guys. Take care, stay safe, have a good day, and peace!